What is going on, guys? It is John from Pistons Territory back at you with another video. And today, this isn't a rant per se. This is just kind of my thoughts on the Detroit Pistons and the organization moving forward. I kind of just want to give my thoughts and expectations for the offseason to come, kind of the state of the rebuild, and how fans are feeling towards the current direction of the Detroit Pistons. So for me, I'm at the point where I want to preach patience. I think patience is what I want to get across in this video. Listen, I know Pistons fans might be getting a little impatient. I know they're probably frustrated with the team being as bad as they were this season. And listen, I know better than everyone. I've been watching this team since 2014. I've seen one winning season out of this team. I've seen them make the playoffs 2 times, and they've been swept both times. And I can complain about the Pistons. It's me. But I think this rebuild needs more time. I know people hate saying that. I know people don't want to hear that, but with Cade Cunningham getting injured, it set this team back another year, and we have to accept that. This story is I think Pistons fans need to be patient in this offseason, and I look at guys like R.J. Hampton, Killian Hayes, Isaiah Stewart, James Wiseman, Isaiah Livers. I will be very, very upset if these guys are moved in the offseason. I know Pistons fans want to give up on Killian Hayes. They've wanted to give up on him for years now. Pistons fans might not see a lot in R.J. Hampton or Isaiah Livers, but I think this team needs to give them another full season to see what we really have in them. It would really, really be upsetting if the Pistons decided to give up on these young players and give those minutes to veterans that they sign or trade for in the offseason, and then those young players go to different organizations and break out in some way, and the Pistons, again, giving up on players way too early. The Pistons do not need to make any major trades or signings this offseason, if I'm being honest. They could bring the same team they have right now and give these young players a chance to develop, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if the Pistons make the play-in. The Pistons could win 28 games or they can win 38 games. Is it really going to matter? They're not making the playoffs. Even if they do make the play-in, the chances of them getting out of it are very, very slim to none. And I think for the overall health of this team, we need to see what we have in players like a James Wiseman, like an Isaiah Livers, like an R.J. Hampton, and like Killian Hayes. So that's kind of where I'm at with the Pistons. I just want to preach patience. I don't want this offseason to be an offseason where we think we have to make moves in order to compete. I don't want us trading young players. I don't want us trading picks for players. If anything, I want us acquiring picks. I want us taking on bad contracts to get picks. I want us signing free agents with the intention of trading them for picks in the year or so to come. At the end of the day, this has been a very long and grueling rebuild, and I know we're getting impatient, but I want to see this thing all the way through, and I don't want us to get impatient near the end and kind of screw up what we have going. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what the Pistons do a year from now. It doesn't really matter what they do 2 years from now. It's about the long-term health of this team. It's about what they do 3 years from now, 4 years from now, 5 years from now. They're trying to build a culture here to build long-term success, and I don't want them to mess that up this offseason by giving up on young players when they don't need to yet. I know Pistons fans don't want to hear this, but I want you to look at this example of the Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks obviously won the title in 2021, but you think about how many years it took for them to get to that point. They drafted Giannis in 2013. They had years where they got bounced in the first round multiple times. They could not get out of the first round until 2019. I want you to think about that for a second. They drafted Giannis in 2013 and didn't get out of the first round until 2019. Pistons fans expecting this to be a quick turnaround, expecting to be in the second round or the conference finals in a year or two is just not realistic. This team is going to have to go through a learning process. They're going to have to make the play-in, lose in the play-in. Then the next season, maybe make the first round and lose in the first round. Maybe lose in the first round again before getting over the hump and getting out of the first round. Then maybe in a year or two getting to a conference finals. It's going to be a long process, and we need to be in this for the long haul. That is kind of my state of address, if you want to call it that, for the Detroit Pistons. I really think we just need to be patient. We need to see this through, and I really, really hope Troy Weaver makes some moves with the long term in mind. I would be very, very upset if, let's say, he traded our first-round pick this year for kind of a win-now player, a young player, let's say, who's 25 but is kind of ready to win now. I think that's a huge, huge mistake, and we need to be patient. We need to see this rebuild through. That's all I got. Let me know what you guys think about the state of the Detroit Pistons. I honestly understand if you're frustrated. I know we should raise our expectations for this team, but you have to take everything in context. And at the end of the day, the NBA is a star league, and the Pistons don't have their star player. It's going to be very hard to win.